Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this how to play video I'm going to present my new iteration of Control Warlock, this time featuring the Darkness. Overall, this kind of Control Warlock is different from a Cubelock. Cubelock attempts to kill the opponent with its combos, which are not quite OTK combos, but they're still quite damage heavy combos. Whereas this type of Control Warlock, the main goal is to make your opponent concede. You try to stay alive, you try to remove the threats, then you build a wall of China, and you will simply smother out the opponent. They don't have anything that they can do to beat you, so they lose. Let's talk about a couple of key cards that enable you to do that. First, there's the subject of board clears and damage. So one of the key aspects to think about is that you have Lesser Amethyst Spellstone, which is a spell that deals some damage, and it becomes more influential when you take damage from your own cards. There are 4 cards in this deck that deal damage to you. So there's Kobold Librarian and there's Hellfire, both in 2 copies. So you really want to think about these a little bit, also to try to sync them a little bit with the spellstones if possible. So do you play Librarian on 1? Not necessarily in all matchups, especially in control matchups, when you can have it a bit later when you have a spellstone in hand and you can deal damage to yourself and also buff the spellstone. So there are some decisions to make regarding that, and some compromises need to be made. Second, there's Defile, and it can do some really insane board clears. There will be quite a few examples of Defile board clears in the gameplay part of this video, and Defile really requires you to think, how can I set up a board that where the health goes from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on, and what can you do to get those missing pieces. Kobold Librarian is actually one of the key pieces here as well, because if you're facing an opponent that doesn't really have that one handily, then Kobold Librarian can give you the start to your Defile. It's a bit different if you run a deck with Tainted Zealots in it, because then it goes 2, 4, 5. So then you can use Mixture of Mixtures for that. But this deck doesn't have any spell damage bonuses, so you need to find that one somehow, either with Hellfire or with Spellstone, or maybe with Gul'dan Hero Power, or by simply playing it on the board yourself. Then there are also a couple of pieces of hard removal. There's 2 copies of Siphon Soul in this deck, and there are 2 copies of Twisting Nether in this deck. So always try to think about which removal is the most efficient one to use here, which removal pieces do you need to save for later threats, how can you use your removal pieces as effectively as possible so that they will last to remove all the threats that the opponent can play. In addition to removal, there are also some defenses, mainly the Void Lords. There are a couple of things about Void Lords. You generally want to get them from Possessed Lackey, and you have a tool, Dark Pact, to get them from Possessed Lackey by killing the Possessed Lackey with that. So in its most simple form you can do that for 6 mana. If there's a significant threat that the Lackey is going to get silenced, then you can also think about, okay, what other tools do I have? If you think that you're going to lose the game if that Lackey gets silenced, then maybe you shouldn't play it. But if you think that even if that Lackey hits the silence, maybe you have another Lackey or something coming out, then you can take the risk. Maybe have it silenced, it might be okay, you bait out the silence so that it doesn't come out later. With this kind of build there's no Doom card, so there's only 2 demons, the Void Lords. There's the unfortunate effect that maybe 1 every 5 games, 1 every 10 games, somewhere between that, you're going to draw both Void Lords before you can actually activate the Lackey. And that's why I eventually ended up adding the Skull of the Manari into this deck. So if I get to the point where I have both Void Lords in hand, I can't get them from Lackey anymore, I can still play the Skull, have the Void Lord come out. Skull has the unfortunate side effect that in a deck that's running Rin, if you have the Skull equipped and you run Rin and you play all the seals, then it will pull the Asari from your hand as well. So you get a free Tenten, but you don't get to burn the opponent's deck. So also depending on the matchups, in some matchups you want to avoid equipping the Skull specifically because you want to burn the opponent's deck. But to be honest, those matchups are quite few and far between right now. Most of the time even Fatigue Win comes without burning the opponent's deck at all. You may also wonder a little bit about the inclusion of Prince Taldaram in this build. I have really enjoyed playing with Prince Taldaram. Prince Taldaram is pretty cheap, so you can use that to create copies quite effectively, and remember, resurrected copies come with full stats. So if you happen to make a copy of a Void Lord, for example, well, you can resurrect that as a 3/9 Void Lord. That has proven to be quite useful numerous times. For example, in mirror matches, when sometimes the opponent gets the Void Lord first, you can't find your own. Well, just Taldaram their Void Lord. Now you have one too, so you have something in that resurrect pool. You can also copy opponent's taunt minions, you can copy charge minions, you get a 3/3 charge for 3. That can sometimes be useful against some kind of aggressive decks where you can trade and retain control. As it's a fairly slow deck, there's also Skulking Geist, mainly against Jade Druid, so that you can prevent them from going infinite. It has one weakness. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that is the Razakus Priest. Razakus Priest is a pain, and it's the most unfavored matchup for this deck. I think it might be the only really unfavored matchup, so that you can really feel that you're unfavored all the way through. I've tried a number of things to beat Razakus Priest. I've tried Gnome Ferrados, I've tried Dirty Rats, I've tried Rin, the Darkness Giants, I even played Sea Giants in some iterations of this deck, and I cannot find a reliable way to beat that deck. I'm sorry. The current idea that I have is that I'm running the Darkness, which delays Raza and delays Kazakus if you can find it, and I'm running some Mountain Giants. So between these I can sometimes apply enough pressure that the priest will crumble, but it's much more typical that the priest will draw the candles even if I get the Darkness out, and immediately when the second candle is drawn, Raza comes down, Kazakus comes down, Anduin comes down, and boom, you're dead. I guess you could try to modify this deck. I mean, you could maybe cut Rin, maybe you could cut the Darkness, that would also cut the cost of the deck a little bit. And these are, in the current meta, these are sometimes more fun than they are powerful. They are very powerful in the right matchups, but I'm not sure if this meta has that many of those matchups. And you could put in like a couple of Dirty Rats, and then you can try to Dirty Rat the Velen. Because if you can catch the Velen, and you are in Blood River cooldown form, then the priest will have a hard time raising you. But I didn't have that much luck trying to rat out those Velens either, so unfortunately slow Warlock builds have a definite weakness in Razakus Priest, and there's not much you can do about that one. Other than that, this deck has a lot of fun matchups, beating Tempo Rogues, beating Murloc Paladins, lots of fun stuff to be had there. As always, I've prepared a bunch of gameplay material for you, and remember, if you enjoy this content, then please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more. And now let's go take a look at some Control Warlock gameplay. I don't think I do right. Well, let's find out more about this Paladin. Now, so far I know that he kept every single card, so he should have some pretty good stuff coming. Let's see how good that stuff is exactly. Seems pretty good. Murloc Paladin. He kept every card, so he should have a Rockpool Hunter. Rockpool Hunter will make this a 2/4. I could attack into it to prevent, to play into, try to get the Hellfire clear. I can hit face. Can he punish me if I hit face? Knife Juggler. No, I think I'll take the hit there. I expect a Rockpool Hunter this turn. The problem is the Seer, if he really gets their health out of control. There should be a Rockpool Hunter now. There wasn't a Rockpool Hunter. Well, that's a bit more interesting. Because I have the Defile available. There is a Rockpool Hunter. But this is a terrible board. I mean, it's a great board for me, because I'm just going to Defile that board. Because I don't want him to Seer that board. That would make it completely out of reach. Top deck Tidecaller. Best kind of Tidecaller. Another Defile. I mean, I know there's a Murloc in hand. And I expect a Codelight Seer. I probably need to play another Defile. I need to tap and then I need to Defile again. I just can't let him build a Murloc board yet. It's too early.
What is happening?
If I could find a Void Lord here, I could play the Skull. I arbit. Ooh, that one too. That's nice. But now if I play the Skull, I don't get any immediate benefit, because I don't have any demons in hand. I think this turn is the Darkness and Mistress. I could have also tapped, but the problem is that tapping plays more into Divine Favor. Maybe that would have still been worth it. But I could not have tapped and played the Skull anyway. I can still have Rin or Siphon Soul next turn, if I can find... That's the War Leader, right? So War Leader was the one that got the buff. Well, I have the option to Siphon Soul the War Leader. That removes 6 power from the board right now. Much more than Rin does. That should ensure that I live another 2 turns, so that I get to Twisting Nether. Even if he has Silence for Rin, he shouldn't be able to deal 24 in 2. So I should get to the Twisting Nether point. Whereas if I leave the War Leader up, then that's uncertain. Yeah, Twisting Nether doesn't mind these. If I can just survive. Can I survive? Tal'Daram, there's no taunt minions, so Tal'Daram isn't that great. 4, 6, 8 damage here. 9, 10 damage. I guess we're going in the Rin. I should probably be able to survive this. But we'll see. Next turn is a Twisting Nether. Almost guaranteed. That's good. Damage going into Rin is very, very good. So far this looks really good. If this is everything, then that's perfect. Well, as good as I can get right now. So we're Twisting Nether board. And then he will have to rebuild. I can heal up with the Dark Pact even if I can't find Lackey or a Void Lord. The odds of him finding Silence are increasing. Still no taunts. Feels bad, man. But I can get the Mountain Giant on the board. Small consolation. I can have a Mountain Giant on the board and get to 18. If I Tal'Daram minion and Dark Pact to Tal'Daram. Is that what I want to do here? Then I can heal more with the Spellstone later. I think that's what I want to do here. I'm Dark Pacting Tal'Daram here. I need that additional 8 health. Yeah, Arbit, I know I need to heal. And Spellstone doesn't heal if you use it to hit a Divine Shield. So we got double Purifier Small, which is generally one of the best ones to get. There are no demons. I haven't found any lackeys, I haven't found any Void Lords. Okay, so now this is looking quite bleak. 6, 9, 12, 15, 17 on Void. Gul'dan doesn't bring back anything. Well, that's pretty rough, I would say. No Void Lords, no lackeys. What can you do? If I tap, I have to tap. I have to find a Void Lord for next turn, right? Yeah, I have to tap. There's my Void Lord. Problem is that it's a bit late. But maybe it can still carry. Gul'dan and hope for Nether. Nah, if I Gul'dan there, that's not good enough. I was able to take 2 power from the board and a Divine Shield with the Silence. Leave him with 12. So he needs another 4. Which of course means that Blessing of Kings top deck would have been lethal. And that's probably a repentance. It should be a repentance at this point, really. Is it lethal with repentance? No, he still needs another top deck. Even with repentance. So now we're playing the Void Lord. That's a repentance, but there's still 4 minions to kill. And he has 5 minions on board. So again he needs the... Actually, he's one off with the Blessing of Kings. Leroy is the only lethal. Leroy is the only lethal he has here. If that's not a Leroy, then there's no lethal. Well, now I know it's not a Leroy. Then we play Gul'dan. Now that we can resurrect some demons. Okay. And then if I don't play another Void Lord, I can play Lackey and Siphon Soul the Lackey. Now he's going to find Silence, so he silences the Void Lord. But after Silence he only has 3 mana, so he doesn't have enough mana to push damage. Doesn't silence the Void Lord. That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, I greatly enjoy keeping my Void Lord too. Alright. So I'm always going to play Lackey and Hero Power on the Lackey, right? Yeah, he could still have a Silence in hand. So Void Lord trades here. Then I get another Void Lord by playing the Lackey. I'm killing off the Lackey to pull the Void Lord. Now he probably has a Silence. If he has 2 Silences in hand, now he wins. But if he has had a Silence, why wouldn't he use it last turn? Was Valanir that much better? Maybe it was. Well, things are getting interesting, that's for sure. All the Void Lords are out there. But I have Hellfires, I have Twisting. Okay, so what's the secret now? Nice Cold Lightseer. That health buff, so important right here. But I can't find... He wins with the Silence still, right? I couldn't find Hellfire. 2 Hellfires, 1 Twisting Nether in the bottom. Well, that sucks. Haven't seen General Megasaurs yet. No room for Noble Sacrifice to spawn. I need to play Mountain Giant first, but there's no way that's Repentance, right? Even if it is, that actually doesn't matter. I'm fine with this. I'm completely fine with this. So we kill that juggler and we eat one of the Murlocs. And I still die to Silence and Megasaur, but with this hand there's not much I can do about that really. Can't kill this off so he can't get the Valanir. He didn't have a Silence. Wow. Well, that means that he cannot kill me here. Only one more minion left. Okay. I'm still alive. I'm somehow still alive here. Not in the greatest of shapes. Can't find AoE. But I find a Spellstone. And Spellstone kills one, but he gets the Valanir back if I kill the Seer. Do I let Seer live? Over giving him the Valanir. Hi, Telespiel. I want to... He hasn't played any Mega Source it, so I want to kill as many Murlocs as possible. So I kill this Murloc. I kill this Murloc. I kill this Murloc. This one, that one, totally. I kill this Murloc. He gets the Valor, it's fine. I kill this Murloc. I kill this Murloc. I kill this Murloc. So let's kill all the Murlocs so that Gentle Megasaur does not have many minions to buff. Is this the deck from yesterday? This is an improved version. We get the Darkness. That's a big minion. Does he have more taunts? Protectors are gone. He needs taunt from Megasaur now. Or he's dead. I know there's no more minions in the deck. I win. With the Darkness. Against Murloc Paladin. Murloc Paladin. Oh, why didn't you let me hit face with the Darkness? So now we're rolling with this. Don't know what kind of priest this is, but if I can find the Darkness I will play that and see how it goes. To an extent it also helps against Spiteful, because they can then low roll from the summoner. But of course that's a tiny sample size. But enough to convince me that okay, now we're maybe getting somewhere. But I had a positive win rate with all the other builds that I bought to stream as well, before the streams. And there's my Darkness. Alright. He kept all cards. So if this is Razakus, he has like Kazakus and stuff. If this was Spiteful, he would already play something. And because of those factors, I'm going to coin the Darkness. I have reason to believe that he has Kazakus and Raza in hand. And I want to deny both of those. Of course, this could be a big priest. There's still many things that it can be. Oh, that's sweet. I think I'm silencing that one, to be honest. He could play Potion of Madness here to kill the Spellbreaker. He could also have a No-Chai Cleric and then get something from healing this. I think it's correct to hit there anyway. Maybe it would be correct to go face. So this is definitely Razakus. Okay, he's going for Organized Circle. Alright. So far so good. I want to kill the Orkanai, but I also need to find something, namely the Giants. Like is not half bad. Let's Defile to take out the Orkanai. Next turn I'll play Lackey and Dark Pact, so I get the first Void Lord out. Most likely anyway. Because he can't play Raza, he can't play Kazakus now. He actually already spent 2 of the cards that he had held on to, which I think is pretty surprising. But let's start pulling some Void Lords from the deck. Oh dear, I don't want him to draw candles. No! Seriously? 4 turns to draw 2 candles. Now Raza and Kazakus are active again. Well, when it only takes 4 turns to draw 2 candles, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh, that one hurt. That one really hurt. Need to kill the Raza. So, as you can... But this is how you see how the Darkness can be unreliable. I shuffled 3 cards, but he drew 2 of them within 5 cards of almost 30. And that's enough to activate Raza. One is fine, one if he draws just one, and the other one might be at the very bottom. Oh dear, now the show begins. This is painful. One mana out from making copy of the auctioneer to draw more cards. Yeah, I guess that's not going to be the play. I will have to kill the auctioneer. Let's tap first. I find Rin, but I can't play Rin yet this turn. That's a problem. I guess I like having these minions around for now. So I just siphons all the auctioneer. There's also some problems with Rin and Dark Pact here, because then I will rapidly run out of things that I can do. He's looking for his Anduin, and I need to start... Well, maybe he has Anduin in hand. He has one card in hand already. That he kept in his opening hand. He's certainly looking. Can I prevent him? He has still 16 cards in the deck. 10 cards in my hand is full. And I can only play one seal per turn. If I can't empty my hand here. Because I can't afford to lose cooldown either. Didn't find any giants. Well. I have to go for the seals. I think I have to go for the seals. I need to throw away a defile here. That means that I can play 2 seals next turn. This is still very unlikely to be enough. I mean, that's Anduin, right? Yeah, Anduin on 10, Raza on 5, Anduin on 10. Well, he had both. He had both immediately available, so he high rolled really hard. 15 cards left in the deck. I have to start playing the seals. In the hope that he does not have Velen. And then maybe I can burn Velen and a bunch of cards and he can't kill me, but he can also have the OTK here. With 14 cards left in the deck, that's possible. Okay. Yeah, the moment he finds Velen, now I'm within Velen Mind Blast lethal range already. And now if I play 2 seals, there's the problem that I will overdraw. So I might burn Gul'dan. If I burn Gul'dan, I don't win even if I burn his deck. But I can play just 1 seal this turn, right? If I play 2 again next turn. But I can't play enough cards to make it happen. Problematic, isn't it? I think I need to burn a card. And hope that the card I burn is not Gul'dan, and that he doesn't find anything good here. But well, he drew absolute nuts. Absolute nuts. Turn 11 lethal. That's pretty sweet. This got to be lethal. Yeah. He didn't even need the powered shield for anything. had 11 cards left in the deck when he had drawn all the combo pieces. And all the Darkness Candles. I'm going to keep... He would never play Razakus Priest. Actually, Ratkin, I have been requested to do a guide on Razakus Priest numerous times. That's just something that has been requested on YouTube. So maybe I would have to do it eventually. I would have to get a good number of games into it so that I could actually present some skillful gameplay with that as well, because that does exist. But most of the time you just rely on high rolling. I have a Spellstone in hand. Let's tap first, maybe I draw another Spellstone, and then we play the Librarian. So we've at least buffed this Spellstone here. I mean, it looks much more fun to play than to play against, yes. Well, most high roll decks are like that. Okay, he's going to Shadow Step this Kelazet. I'm not sure about the value in this matchup, but yeah, I guess it does play around stuff like Hellfire quite effectively. There won't be any 3 health minions left when you Shadow Step your Kelazet. Well, that feels a little bit bad. I suppose I'm tapping again, we go to 10 cards. Then playing the Mistress. Let's see. But if you make cards and it will make sense to make card in the best deck in the game, yes. Yeah, you're right. So I probably should do it for that purpose. Oh, that was the perfect combination of cards. How sweet. I think this turn is a Hellfire. Buffs up both Spellstones. Next turn will be Lackey and Dark Pact. I cannot draw 2 Void Lords into hand right now.
This guy's toast.
Strange Patches play. Not that I'm complaining. He might have Silence. Well, might or might not. That's what we go for anyway. Very likely to have Vilespine Slayer, especially after the Minstrel. And he still has cards that have been in his hand for all this time. Not the greatest Bone Marrow of all time, to be honest. Because I can simply Siphon Soul this. Also have some plentiful tools available here. But no need to heal up that much yet. So I'll just Siphon Soul the SI7 agent. I think I can play a Mistress. Yeah, it's fine. Let's play a Mistress. Alright, still have plenty of healing available. Some Defiles, but Defiles can be hard to use after Shadow Stepped Kelazet. So we'll see how that one goes. Bone Mares. Well, I obviously have the Twisting Nether. Bone Mares are gone now, and the likelihood of Big Edwin is pretty low. So I could simply silence this. But if I silence and use a Spellstone, or if I silence, I can't get a 1. No, Defile doesn't do it. I might not have to use the Spellstones yet. I could simply silence and tap. There's rather limited amount of things he can send to my face afterwards. Let's just tap first. And I'll silence that one. I maybe could have just played a Lackey instead of Silence, but I felt like then there would be maybe a bit too much damage coming in. I'm setting up for a potential Twisting Nether play. His deck won't have any 1 health minions anymore. Okay, we get the Twisting Nether play. That's nice. Get rid of Corridor Creeper and get rid of Vilespine Slayer. I like that. Okay. Limit the amount of damage incoming a little bit. Bone Mass gone now, 1 Vilespine Slayer gone. Globulous reload. The Day Deadwind isn't exactly bad. But I also don't mind it too much right now. Because I'm just playing Gul'dan here. So we get the Void Lord and we get 3 small taunts. Which means that even if there's a silence, he cannot really push through. He hasn't used any deckhands yet. So maybe he can push 8 through or something. He had that second Vilespine. Alright. Is there a way to make a defile board? Now there isn't when that got to 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I would need a 4 and a 5. I can get a Void Lord out. It's 1 and a 2 and a... I need a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need a 5. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5. These go face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes. There's my 1. And there's my defile. Obviously the Void Lord ends up taking some damage, but I don't really mind. I think it's fine. So I think that was a pretty sweet defile clear. This time my math was on point. Don't learn new things like overnight, but sometimes you do. Alright. We could be in a mirror or we could be facing zoo. I'm not sure which one I dread more. I watch my lunch break. Okay. Well, let's see. Probably not a zoo then. This is a mirror. Mirrors are interesting. I want the Mountain Giant out next turn, right? You're seeing the integration part between me and Twitch, so you're not... So that's how the tracker can go off sync from what's going on on the screen. So if you're a little bit behind, then that might happen. Other option is that the tracker does show that there's like 10 seconds or something delay just between Twitch and you every time. Well, he might have the tools to kill a giant here. Trade, Spellstone, Hellfire Coin, Mortal Coil. I think I'm still going in with the giant. It's not like I have a big plan to save these giants for something else. This will force a reactive turn from him. Manipulator is actually very nice here. So it's a Cubelock, because he's running Faceless. Alright. Now we know a little bit more about the opponent. Does that knowledge help me? He's probably running 1 copy of Silence. 9 cards in hand, I can go to 10. Grabbing another giant is not bad. I think I trade here. And I play another giant. Let's see what he wants to do about this one. Just lucky. I haven't found Silence yet. Lucky could pull a Doom Guard. He could have Cube and Dark Pact. I think I'm still taking my chances on that one though. I go for a lucky of my own. And Darkback Tactical Void Lord. And I punch him in the face. Let's see what kind of response he has to this. Many Cubelocks have cut Siphon Soul. So we'll see. Of course, if he has... Oh, he cubes the Lackey. Interesting. Why would you cube the Lackey over cubing the Doomguard itself? That looks pretty weak. I want to prevent him from getting too many Doomguards. I mean, Doomguard cubes is what I don't like. I can deal 3 to this. He wants Void Lords. I don't mind Void Lords. What I wonder is, if he gets another Doomguard, I can't kill that, right? I'm still going for this line. These are going face. Then I'll defile. I'll kill off that one. There is a small problem if he has another cube already, because then he can cube this Doomguard. So there is a one turn of vulnerability here, if he has another. Well, that also kind of works. Okay. Now did this go wrong now? Hellfire only puts this to 2. Hit here. Defile Hellfire clears. 1 and a 2. Do I also want to tap? Yeah, I think I want to tap here. Could have tapped first, of course, but that was always going to be the play. There was no other card that would be better. He can't play Gul'dan yet, so no more Doomguards coming until Gul'dan. That's the main thing. And I want the Void Lords to give him more Void Walkers as well. I mean, I guess this is a Void Lord play. Not yet time to play Gul'dan. Didn't have the final Void Lord in hand yet. Silence is all cool and stuff. I would like this one to die, so that I'd resurrect. Next turn he can play Gul'dan. If he plays Gul'dan and I have no taunts, his Doomguards will be enough, right? So I will have to play the N'Zoth. Do I kill this one or do I just kill this one to gain more health? Do I need more health right now? I get 1 Void Lord back, but he already used the silence. He's trying to play Gul'dan. He will resurrect up to 3 Doomguards. Then there's Void Lord and 3 Void Walkers. So actually that's the board, exact board that he will resurrect. There will be 3 Doomguards. I need to kill this one. This is better, right? And I need to play the N'Zoth. I also get a Lackey, and Lackey can pull... No, there's no more Void Lords in the deck, of course. No, Lackey can't pull anything. Well, now he risks getting 1 less Doomguard because he managed to find the Void Lord. He can kill off the Mistress, he will get 6 minions. There are 3 Doomguards, 1 Void Lord, 3 Void Walkers. He has not found Gul'dan. That's interesting. That is actually very, very interesting. And I want to get as many Void Walkers to die as possible, so that he gets less Doomguards. 1 cube left. He's thinking of cubing the Void Lord. I don't think you want to do that. Does this now save the Void Lord somehow? I mean, I have Taldarm, so I can make more Void Lords too. 5, 8. Yeah, it is actually pretty good for him here. I don't want to silence this because I want him to get Void Walkers and not Doom Gods. Is there anything I could find? Any use to tap? Then I can't play Tal'Daram if I tap. I think I want the Tal'Daram. Then I Siphon Giant. Do a triple trade here. Trade away one of those. I can play a Librarian, it's fine. So now if he plays Gul'dan, his odds of getting multiple Doom Guards is a lot lower. Yeah, nice Defile. Very nice Defile in fact. I don't mind too much because I have Gul'dan available. Well, this is perfect for me. Now I can't get a better Gul'dan board anyway. So that's the Gul'dan board. How many Doom Void Lords? I get 3 Void Lords. I high roll a bit here. Because the average was 2. The average was 2 Void Lords. I haven't found either of the Twisting Nethers yet. How many Doom Guards? 2 Doom Guards. That's about average. What if I just Twisting Nether this board? He will have no more Doom Guards. Do I have to? So many bloody. What if I Hellfire this board? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage into that one. 3, 9 damage into that one. I can't get rid of all the Doom Guards if I do Hellfire, right? There's still going to be 1 left. Plus 3. I want to kill all the Doom Guards. Maybe there was a way, but I wasn't seeing that. I needed to attack in first, then I would not have given him these 1/3s. I guess it doesn't really matter, but yeah, made a small mistake there. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine because, well, he has Cube and Dark Pact. But he can't play a Mountain Giant and then Cube and Dark Pact on the same turn, right? He cannot. And a Mountain Giant alone doesn't do anything. Because I will just Siphon Soul the Mountain Giant. Does he have a Siphon Soul? Faceless Manipulators have been spent. Is this the time to play the Darkness? He might have a Siphon Soul there. Interesting. I guess I'll play the Darkness. Let's see. Yeah. My small mistake there made no difference, by the way, because he played the Hellfire anyway. So even if he didn't have the 1/3s, that would have still ended the same. Now we're about to find out whether he has Siphon Soul available. I think there's a reasonable chance that he has one, but that takes most of his turn here, if he does. If he doesn't, then he just dies to the Darkness. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.